he talks about that, you just have all these people coming over to Pulsechain, and he's just slowly doing it. And then he's going to pick it up. Then he's going to add liquidity. I think I checked last time, it was like 187 million Richard Hart has sitting on the side just for whatever marketing liquidity.
And dude, like, think about so with Pepe, like, you have the memetics or whatever, but the staying power of Pepe, dude, it's a global thing. Like Dogecoin, you had to just use that one cute picture of Doge. Sheeb was entirely a front run operation by CZ to garner his own liquidity for his fucking arbitrage through the bear. And then you have Pepe, which is like, oh, wait a second, that's the most notable meme on the internet. You can ask any AI and it'll tell you that's true. And it hasn't even gotten a chance to get off the ground yet. That liquidity is going to come pouring in tranches as we capitulate to the granddaddy of memes.
Oh yeah, dude. It's the biggest. It's the easiest meme there is right now. It was honestly a no brainer play. Like after I saw the wrap Bitcoin thing, I was just like, B-Roots got in before I faded it at first because I just had an issue with so many people coming over and dumping from the other side, like guys like Pauly. But dude, it just has so much hype. And we got Richard Hart talking about it now. It was flying before Richard Hart. Now he's talking about it. It's game over.
Richard amplified it for sure. Shout out to Richard. But we were headed somewhere.
Shout out to Richard. I think you've nailed it by leaning into Pepe. Our Pepe's better. Our bags are bigger. Our bitches are badder. The swag is elite. Come get some.
Their momentum is down astronomically. And we got it. We're rocking it. We're having fun. We're showing up 43 days straight, onboarding degens, analyzing the situation. Like, it's just been a really good time. We're going to keep going.
And you know the crazy part is you don't get that much engagement with Pepe on Pulsechain. Like, I mean, it's not like, no offense, but like this is a smaller space. Like the community just hasn't grown because most people are just confused on what's going on. And people haven't even, like, retail, like the community's not even here yet. And look where it's at, $40 million market cap. Wait till everyone starts FOMOing in and really understanding what's going on. When Pulsechain goes up, when Pulsechain does a 10x, Pepe's going to do a 10x. Like when it's going to fly, when Pulsechain flies, and obviously when Pepe flies too. So, I mean, it's just a perfect storm, in my opinion.
I think it's even healthy for Hex because the old thesis used to be, okay, so you're on Pulsechain, you own the casino, yada yada, and then Hex is the store of value. Now you at least have the alternative, which is like, well, what if I disagree with that thesis? I don't know. Then buy any shitcoin. You might as well buy Pepe. It's got the best tokenomics. It's the Bitcoin of shitcoins. So it's like, okay, well, that sounds like a degenerate move. It's like, well, I already told you about Hex, dude. What do you want?
Yeah, man. And that's the thing. Like, people are realizing all these Hex Maxis and stuff that are like, oh, I don't do shit coins, and came on Shill Tank and called us scammers and just, oh, if it's not Hex, it's a scam. Now you got your guy that you look up to as basically a god, which is, I mean, it is what it is. But now you have him talking about meme coins. Of course he's gonna. This is the volume. What's volume on Ethereum? 70% of it, something like that, is from meme coins, even more probably. So, I mean, why would Richard Hart not want that volume? He knows the game. Like, he's not dumb.
So, like, Ian and B-Roots, influencers that stayed kind of wide net, they're going to just fly beyond them because they don't have the baggage of going, what do you mean you only showed one token for 3 years at me when you could have told me literally anything else and made money one time?
It won't matter because what Richard says is what they do.
We don't have the same level of awareness as the Pepe on Ethereum, but we have better tokenomics. Some people don't give a shit about tokenomics. I don't blame them. But hey, our frog's green too.
But hey, if we get enough green candles, people are going to start noticing. It's going to bring them over here. They're going to know about Pulsechain. All of you Hex Maxis that own the casino, you guys are going to be very happy. Don't worry about it. Just chill out, vibe with us, ride with us. And we want to go way higher. We're just getting started. We're not satisfied.
Everything under $1 billion market cap is free money. The last time I said this, it was true. The time I said it before that, it was true. The time I said it before that, it was true. Everything.
I'm going to have to agree with you, bro. I know we have a lot of disagreements, but I agree with you there. I feel like a lot of whales are kind of washing themselves out right now. It's looking like it's getting ready again to do a full sendy just based off of the Pulsechain frog tokenomics as opposed to the Ethereum one. So, a lot of those big exchanges, obviously we all know this already, they got diamond hands. So we might see a big move tonight is my gut feeling.
Quick description. Why are they better than Pepe on ETH?
The top wallets, you know, there's a lot of major exchanges that are holding the Pepe from Ethereum. They're, you know, they got the copy, so these guys are most likely not gonna dump just because it's like a horrible play for them, because one, it's their users' money, and which I'm sure they don't really give a about, but two, they're like admitting that Pulsechain exists. And that's just free marketing. If for some reason they do dump, and this has been my thesis from the beginning, from when I started kind of talking about it with you guys, is like, even if they do dump, that's kind of bullish. I'm gonna be scooping. I'm gonna be getting that real estate up, because that's how high my conviction is, you know, that like I'm hoping these dudes dump. So yeah, that's kind of like the centralized exchanges. And then also the fact that we're paying low fees is like a major bullish thing for the frogs on Pulsechain, because it's like you're not worrying about like buying $5 worth of frog. If you want to buy $5 worth of frog, you can do that, right? Like you can't really do that on Ethereum because of the gas.
The exchanges, the number one is Binance. They fundamentally will never list Pulsechain. Richard Hart was trying to do, before y'all were coping about some Jack Levin guy, Richard Hart identified that Binance Smart Chain was the smartest thing he had ever seen in his whole life in terms of capitalizing fresh crypto capital. He tried to build the English speaking, the white boy version of Binance. And I don't blame him. Unfortunately, when the devs got knuckles deep, they realized, oh, this only works because they're actively centralizing all the shit anyway. Oh, well, we don't want to do that. That's not going to look super hot, and it's going to be a ton of attack vectors that Binance probably knows how to exploit way better than we do. So let's just not do that. Hey, ETH 2.0 is pretty much done. Should we just give it a few months, make sure it's not busted? Yup. Okay. So Binance is never going to list Pulsechain, you guys. Sorry, never going to happen. And that's okay. That's beneficial to us, because when they never list us, they have 25% of the supply of the token. Technically, at the time of the fork, roughly 17% of the supply through 3 different wallets. On top of that, you have a Gnosis safe, which is the multi-sig that was given an allocation for exchange listings and quote-unquote marketing, which is paying people for exchange listings. That wallet is in a Gnosis safe. Gnosis has not pointed the RPC settings for Pulsechain yet, so their multi-sig is just a brick. They can't dump the Pepe. So you have over 30% of the supply locked up on exchanges and a Gnosis safe that can't be touched. If the exchanges dump, we mobilize the entire community under the Richard Hart banner to say, hey, Pulsechain exists. We know it because you're dumping the token on us. We want access in your exchange. It's not a one-way relationship out here. Those are your customers' funds, and we're going to make enough noise to make sure that they know you're dumping their money. Oh, well, our terms of service don't care. I have a guy with 300,000 followers and the most crazy, volatile, high conviction zealots of all time. They will come and murder you on every social media platform that you're on. Now, if they come back around and they dump, I agree. We have to weather that storm and eat it up in supply. But guys, the other exchanges, that coming off the books. So you have way less supply over here on Pulsechain than you do on ETH. And when they sold, the people like Pauly, all the degens that wanted a quick buck, good for you guys. Glad you made money. They ate max slippage. There was no liquidity. They ate max slippage. And now Richard's pointing the free money gun at you and saying, hey, if you don't want to make fees, I'll pay you to make Pepe look good. If you do want to earn fees, you just got to hit V2. I'm not going to put a hose in your mouth when you're gobbling up the number one chip in the casino at 2 different tables. Intending to make Binance Smart Chain, like that was the original onset, and then as the devs got into it and they saw the bugs and they saw the need for centralization that they didn't want to commit to, they were like, well, ETH 2.0 is here now. That makes a lot of sense. It's secure and we can actually do it kind of decentralized as opposed to the Binance cheat code. So CZ is not going to list Pulsechain. He's not just going to be like, hey guys, take all the liquidity off of my 2 blockchains and go FOMO it into this guy's. Like, that's just not going to happen. And that's okay. That's okay. Like I kind of like, that was some of the stuff I liked about Hex. I knew it wasn't going to get listed on exchanges, but I prefer on-chain volume. I prefer on-chain liquidity fees. Like, if I'm going to gamble in the casino, I better earn fees for all the chips I put on your table. Like, I better get comped drinks. I better get a hotel room, whatever it is. I need to have on-chain volume. And you saw that the on-chain volume for Ethereum, Pepe, had done over $1 billion in 24-hour volume. As soon as it got listed on exchanges, that number cratered, and all of the money is now being made by the quote-unquote market makers or the liquidity providers, which are exchanges that are wash trading their customers who don't know shit about crypto. So these exchanges are not going to mention to their customers that they're sitting on these fat bags of cash. They don't want people to leave the exchange to go play on a fee-efficient blockchain. So Richard's got these guys right where you want them. On the one hand, sure, technically, the Gnosis Safe RPC will come online at some point. Those folks could say, hey, we never committed to Pulsechain. We're dumping that. Who cares? You know, we're all going to go through some red candles, whatever. We have way more people that want to participate than they can dump on us with. So the exchanges aren't going to do that. And if they did, they basically have to admit that they are aware that Pulsechain exists. So then we as a community come together under Richard's banner and amplify under his 300,000 followers. And we say, hey, Binance, why aren't you telling people about that free money that you're helping dump on the market? Like, that's their money. They're entitled to that. And then we all just go, hey, you need to list us. You need to list us. Or you end up in a clout battle, and like Richard's not going to back down from dunking on CZ.
Uh-oh. I love everything that you said, especially the part that sounded like a bind burn.
There is
Like
actually,
a
so I'm
pseudo
working.
bind burn.
So I'll
Pseudo
say this
bind
is
burn.
my last thing. I'm actually working with Brother KG of Internet Money. We're going to get Pepe on Pulsechain listed as a native asset, and we're going to have it incorporated in the routing buy and burn.
Oh shit! So you're talking about a pseudo bind burn and an actual bind burn. But nah,
Yep.
seriously. So the those tokens that are locked up, that sounds legit. Like as in
Yep.
at least for now. Like in
Yep.
the medium term, they are going to remain locked, which
Right.
is
And so,
effectively like a bind burn.
and here's yeah, I know what you mean by that, but to clarify for people, many people don't understand why the market cap for Hex is so large relative to like the amount of traded volume or the liquidity, because they aren't aware that, well, some people, right? They aren't really aware that those tokens that are custodied by the various OA and the daughter addresses, those still count towards market cap, right? Well, the same thing goes in this situation where there's a Gnosis safe that holds trillions of tokens. You still have to do the price per Pepe times all of the tokens, including those trillions. So the market cap is, like I said, those kind of plebbery surface level analysis metrics are going to look phenomenal on Pepe. They looked phenomenal on Pepe on Ethereum. You guys are not going to have the same problem of 7 centralized exchanges listing Pulsechain overnight and then taking away all of the volume and all of the volatility. You currently have a degen because you have the best degen casino for Pepe on earth right now, even better than PancakeSwap on Binance.
Sometimes I zone out and then I hear the words buy and burn, and you have my attention.
I love it.
Yeah, man. So KG says that any send or swap in the wallet will buy and burn Hex, Pulsechain, and Pepe.
Have you heard that Pulsechain has a buy and burn?
I have. Yep. We're getting the buy and burn on the buy and burn on the buy and burn. But this will buy and burn
Right.
the PRC20 tokens if that interests anybody.
Have you guys heard that this Twitter space has got a buy and burn? I just kick people the fat every time I see a red candle on the Pulsechain chart. I just kick people the fat, so they have to keep buying, otherwise they get burned.
I want to roll back the clock for just a minute. One of the things that was talking about originally when I hopped in that wanted me to come up was talking about one. We're addressing meme coin communities and stuff like that. One of the things that I was doing right when Pulsechain launched, and I will say this because those pools were made instantaneously, not everyone was looking. So during that first couple hours, I dumped a heck ton of my Pepe because Pepe was pretty pumped at that time with the ratio trading, and so I used that to farm some more liquidity on some PLS and PLSX, and bought back in once enough people realized that and were dumping their meme coins, and I was able to buy back in at a cheaper price. So yay, degen casino stuff. But one of the things that I've been talking with a couple NFT communities and stuff like that on Ethereum is, hey, like, you have these copies, and so what I would really love to see is some of these some of the NFT project communities that are building platforms recognize these NFT projects and give them those visuals so that they can see their own tokens. Because personally, if you hear me speak a lot, I don't like the term game theory, because we're playing with money. So we're not really playing with money. We're building stuff. We're building empires. So I like to use the term economic theory. But when it comes to NFT and some of the game theory, of how to interact with the community and get them to do different things, they have this whole collection untouched. So if you didn't sell your piece before the copy date of around the 12th or 13th, you have that NFT over. So what I would love to see is some of these NFT communities being invited, and I've talked with some of my communities as well. unfortunately, a lot of them had staking contracts in place, and so until those get copied over and are able to unstake, you have them sort of locked, like Cookie was talking about with like these vaults and stuff like that aren't currently recognized, to where they have they have a secondary collection in a way, rather than expanding from 20,000, they got a 40,000 collection right now. And so getting away, if you sold it on one chain, well, you might still have it here,